Over the past few years, I've made some pretty cool AI tech. From my custom video and image generation system to AI anime girls running around on Discord playing video games and getting mad at you. I've done it all. I'm even working on a fully local AI companion that you run all on your own hardware. So you don't gotta do any of that subscription or anything stuff. It's called Akari, but that's besides the point. That's not what this video is about. I wanted to challenge myself to make an AI girlfriend in 7 days. Ran mobile. Now, what do you mean ran mobile? I mean run on your phone. You could take your AI girlfriend to the park, show her the swings, and then she could yell at you because she's not physically there to get on the swings. That's the kind of stuff that I'm going for here. I also wanted to challenge myself to do it without the crutch of any of my previous work. None of my pre-trained language models or language models I've developed from scratch. Any systems or anything that you would not have readily available, I cannot use. So you can kind of think of it as a pseudo how-to if you want to follow along at home. I have 7 days. Let's start by breaking down the hardware. On this side of my goon cave slash man cave slash office, we have what I call the CAS Nexus. Now, this bad boy is responsible for running pretty much my entire company. Everything that I've ever done lives and runs off of this server. I got tired of paying cloud stuff. Long run, it's really cheaper just to, anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. In here, there is some pretty crazy compute. A couple RTX 6000 Pros, a little bit of H200s, a little mix of Blackwell and Hopper, you know, the best of both worlds, and also, it didn't fit my budget to go all, Blackwell. But we're not gonna be focused on the entire server. The only thing that we are gonna be focusing on is this node right here. This I call the N01 node. This currently runs our Discord bot, Nagi. She talks with you, remembers you, plays music for you, does some, you know, some light research, plays some games with you. Some very minor stuff. However, I can section this guy out. Now, obviously, not everyone has access to unusable and really dumb amount of hardware that I have to trick myself into thinking was needed. So, I'm gonna section it off. 12 gigabytes of VRAM, 32 gigabytes of RAM, lowering that speed a little bit, and enough compute to compare to around a 3rd gen Ryzen 5. So essentially, think 3060, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and a 3rd gen Ryzen 5. Super doable. You can find builds like this for $500 to $600 on Facebook Marketplace. The next most important thing is it's gotta be mobile. So I gotta have a nice phone. Now, Tim Cook would not like me doing this on an iPhone. I also don't think it's possible. So, I went with the next best option. Enter the S26 Ultra. Now, you might be wondering, why me, of all people, Mr. Apple, would choose this? I didn't really have a choice, but it's not much of a compromise either. You get a close to 4K display, OLED, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and plenty of processing power. And it honestly looks really sharp. Another thing that's gonna be super important is that facial recognition camera. Obviously, we're gonna want our girlfriend to know when she's talking to us and when she's talking to your jealous brother. So, very important, gonna need that as well. And I gotta be honest, I've never developed an app. I've never owned an Android device. This is all gonna be new to me. So, we need to take it slow. The goal for day one is simple. Understand how the Android ecosystem works, understand how to get an app onto the Android, and we need to get a V2 model displayed on the Android. Basically, I'm lazy, I want to go to bed, and I procrastinate. So it kind of works out. So I guess the first thing we need to do is pick a V2 model. Well, that took about 7 seconds. I cruised on over to my favorite Live 2D shop booth, and I found the aptly named Robot Girl. So meet Miyu. She's gonna be our robot girlfriend, AI girlfriend. Shoot. Robo Girl. Let's purchase the model, and I'll also leave a link down to this model in the description below just because, you know, they do great work. Let's get started. Here's what I got so far. I downloaded the Live 2D Studio SDK, which is free, by the way. Then I went ahead and set up everything for Android Studio. Should allow me to install my own app on the new Galaxy here, allegedly. If you're following along at home, go to your About Me in your settings, find the model ID, click it 7 times, and then it puts you in developer mode. Also, you need to disable a few things. There's an auto pop-up blocker you need to disable as well. Should allow for the server and my Android to talk. I think that's what I need to do. I don't really know. but let's see. All right, after about an hour and about 2 Coke Zeros, I was able to figure it out. Added some extra punctuation there that was really throwing it off. Allegedly, it should work another hour and a half. So, we just want to see. We dropped the Miu model in here. We just want to make sure it works. And there's our girl. There's Miu. Look at that. Well, she's not much now. A little bit of texture issue, but we'll fix that later. The next thing I want to get is face tracking. You have to add some lines to allow the app to use the front-facing camera to track our face using the facial camera in there, as well as get her to move. So we got to figure out the on drag command, wherever that's stored. I believe that's stored in the LApp view. And then if we just get the on drag, we can target it towards the camera and it should just follow our face. Okay, so that was actually a lot easier than a lot of things I've done. I gotta say, Android Studio is amazing. The way it handles errors, I'm used to Visual Studio. Visual Studio is okay, but not like this. I am not used to this just simplicity. So, not only do we have her, we got her running, and we did face tracking too. So she'll actually, if I move the screen around, it's a little buggy. There you go. Can't really tell, but she follows me, and it's actually super simple because that Live 2D Java that you download, it has all the parameters that like Live 2D would have already pre-built. It's just getting it to run on the phone, and it was super simple.
The next morning.
Hey, good morning, Leon.
Good morning, Tom, and how are you?
I just woke up. I guess I left my computer on again.
Yeah, how'd you sleep, big dog?
I slept okay. I kind of just want to get this Miu stuff done. Yesterday was actually pretty successful. Live 2D model rendering on the Android. We also got face tracking working. So now here comes the AI part, the robo brain, if you will. When you're looking at running a local language model, there's a couple things that you really want to pay attention to. The main thing is going to be parameter count. Now, since we only have 12 gigabytes of video RAM, we don't want to overload it with just the model. The reason why is there's a couple other things down the line that we're going to do that's going to require that video RAM. Think of it as gold. It's a very important resource that we need to have. I went with the Dolphin 3 8B. Now, the reason for this is the Dolphin 3 8B is already trained as an assistant model. This should give us a really good starting point for Miu, just because she is going to be an AI girlfriend, but she needs to be an assistant. She needs to be useful. She needs to do things. So that's what we're doing today. The first step is actually pretty simple. Once Ollama is installed, you want to pull the correct model. Now, you can do this one of two ways. You can do it through the Ollama app, or you can do it directly through your PowerShell or command prompt. Run the code Ollama space pull and then Dolphin 3 8B. Once you run that, it's going to download a file into your wherever your Ollama directory is going to be. It's not going to matter because we're going to pull it anyways. So then you're going to want to do Ollama list. Now, you should see the Dolphin model installed there. It'll give you exactly the size and everything as well. You'll need to set the Ollama host to this. This will allow it to work with our app we're going to use. That app is called Tailscale. Tailscale is super simple setup. It's free. It took me 3 minutes. All you're going to do is download it on the Android device, sign in or make an account, and then do the same thing on the computer. So you also want to set the Ollama base URL to what your Tailscale address is. That's how you're going to actually connect it. So now that we've told Ollama where to look and we've told Tailgate exactly where we are going, you should have seamless connection between the two devices, your Ollama computer and your Android device. The next part is where the magic actually happens. You're going to want to go through and make just a very basic Ollama script. You want to make sure you import all your Android stuff and make sure your networking is correct. Make sure the public class that you're going to use for Ollama client has the correct address. It should look something like http://IP address/API/chat. Then you can have the actual fun. You can make the base prompt. The base prompt is essentially where you're just going to spit down words of how you want your AI girlfriend to be. For example, I said, "You are Miu, a nerdy AI assistant girl talking to the user who you always call Common," because that's me. "You help him and you're not thrilled about it. You're a little reluctant but unimpressed." That's just a very basic. You can go on and on and on up to about 12,000 characters where the model is going to start making an issue. So What the base prompt actually does is whenever Ollama is going to receive a query or generate a response, it's going to use this as the base response. So think if you say, hello Miyu, that's going to go to your dolphin model. But before it even gets there, it's not reading it as hello Miyu, it's reading it as that entire paragraph, hello from user. So this is what actually makes the anime girl the anime girl. It's that base prompt. So it's super important. Play with it because it can get you very far. At this point, I also added a couple things just for the coming days for facial recognition and a couple other things, but we'll touch that when we get there. The next very important thing is going to be the voice. So now we have a brain, but we need a voice. For me, I'm using 11 Labs. It's super simple, it's relatively cheap, and you can even get a free API key for your first 12 to 15,000 characters, I believe. So it's really not that bad. Check it out. There's also ones you can run locally. I've left enough free video RAM for you to run your own GPT Sovits, maybe Gwen TTS, or even Colloquial. So if network APIs aren't your thing and you really want to keep everything in-house, that 12 gig card actually has some room for you to play with. You can even up it to a 14 billion parameter model if you want to use 11 Labs. I'm going to stick with the 8B and I'm going to use 11 Labs just because I want that rapid response. Setting up the actual code for your voice is actually quite simple. Actually post it here where you're going to place your API key. Never, ever, ever show anyone your API key. Do not show anyone your API key. That's pretty much everything you need just to make it talk and think. However, we want a little bit of UI. Not today. I'll do that tomorrow. So now that we have the brain, the voice, and the live 2D model all fully working, it should look a little something like this. Hey Miyu, you want to say hi to YouTube?
Hey, what does YouTube have to do with anything? Are you trying to make another game out of this? Laughs. Fine, fine. Go ahead and say hi to your precious YouTube while I'm here. It's not like I can see it anyway.
Correct. She can't see. Not yet. That's next.
72 hours later.
Good morning, day 3. So now that we have a working brain, we have working audio, and we have a working live 2D model, essentially we have almost a working app. The next thing I wanted to add was facial recognition, which kind of tacks onto that facial tracking that we did in the first day. I want her to be able to experience the world with me. I want her to be able to recognize when things are me and when things are objects or other people. I want her to differentiate and remember that. So that's going to be today's test to see if all that works. If you remember, all those buttons that we added before are now actually going to have a purpose. If you see, she's kind of tweaking out because she can't see me. So we have the first one on the left is enroll me. So yes, I'm back. The first button on the top left is enroll me. So when you first download the app, that's the first thing you're going to click. So that knows basically it's me. It's going to use that facial recognition and figure out who is me and who is not me. That second button is the front-facing camera, so she can view through the front-facing camera and see what she's looking at. Third one is the rear camera. Fourth one is the watch mode. She'll keep an eye on you, and every couple minutes she'll comment on what you're doing, make fun of you. Last button up on top is a mute, just so that way we can save ourselves some 11 Labs credits. You see, then the question becomes, how are we gonna make her see the world around us? How is she going to understand what is what, who is me, who is what? That's why I chose an 8B model, because we actually need to run a second model on top of that specifically for vision and recognition. The model I chose was Lava 7. The reason I chose that model is it's relatively light while still maintaining a good database of items and things. So she won't be super slow to respond, but she's also going to be able to tell the difference between a cat and a bottle of Coke. So now we're back to the goon room, and I want to see if she can tell what any of these are. I would even settle for something as simple as a statue. So let's see. All we're going to do is go ahead and click the back camera button.
Looks like someone's collection of anime figurines. I approve the K on representation.
There she goes. There, she figured it out. Now, if the facial recognitions work, I should be able to...
Look who returned. Ah, another selfie. You do realize I'm not a dog, right? And those are probably just props from the gaming setup.
And she was able to recognize that too. She also used contextual relevance to look back at previous conversations and things I asked her. I was doing a lot of testing, so she did get quite frustrated. That's why she seems kind of annoyed now. She is pretty annoyed. So I'll go through and explain how each part of that visual pipeline works. The facial recognition already uses the Android built-in facial recognition. Essentially, if you have a phone that's running Android with Face ID, you already have the SDK installed on your phone for facial recognition. The only thing is tapping into it. It's actually quite simple. A couple variables and importing a few items, and all of a sudden, whatever program you're running has facial recognition, which is actually kind of scary now thinking about it. But anyways, back to AI Girlfriend. The front and rear camera buttons are just taking a picture and feeding it to the Ollama model. Pretty simple. We get a response generated back, send it to 11 Labs generates the audio, sends it back. Simple stuff. We're all on the same page. The one that makes it a little more complicated is going to be that awareness. I have two forms of awareness. I have one soft awareness, which is currently built in, where if I'm in front of the camera, it is tracking me. It displays a vector value between 0 and 1. The higher it is to 1, the more likely the person standing in front of the camera is me. I call it the common vector. So if I put someone else in front of the camera, that likelihood should drop close to 0, and it should set that variable to common in front of camera false. That would toggle her to respond differently than if I was standing there with her. It also works if multiple faces are detected, but not through using the Android SDK for facial recognition. That part actually goes through Lava as well. I've fed Lava about 100 pictures of me just so it gets a good idea of who I am. So if there's multiple people in frame, she can still differentiate between who is me and who is someone else relatively well. The last and most annoying one to do was the automatic awareness, or the watch button. Essentially, every 45 seconds, she's taking a frame and feeding it to the Lava model. Lava is then going to look at that, analyze the frame, and remember it. The next time a frame is then generated and sent to the Lava model, it's going to check and see what changed, essentially layering the images on top of each other to see what changed. Kind of pissed off when you leave her somewhere. So we got the personality down. I guess that's it for day 3. Well, it's day 4, and I gotta say, we've gotten pretty far. Today, I really just wanted to focus on hot fixes, just because it got a little messy.
There you are. More. Took your time.
First thing I did was I went ahead and simplified the UI and pushed all the buttons away. Changed the colors as well, so it looks actually a lot better. It's a lot more functional. Also gave her the ability to look through the front or rear camera by herself, whether she wants to or I request her to. So instead of pressing the button, I can just say, "Hey Miu, look through the back camera. What do you see?"
I see a home office with gaming equipment, including a monitor and keyboard setup.
I also upgraded her voice. So we're still using the same voice ID, however, I've moved up to the V3. So instead of using the multilingual V2, it's a lot better. Now she can enunciate noises as well. Like, "Miu, can you laugh for me?"
Sure, I can do that.
That's pretty good. It adds a little bit of latency, but nothing too insane. I took it easy today because Happy Friday. So today I wanted to focus on making Miu a little more aligned and changed her personality file. That base prompt that we were talking about a couple days ago, that along with the updated voice should allow her to enunciate herself a little more clearly, her wants, her desires, things like that. Miu, you're saying hi to YouTube again. It's been a few days since we did the changes. How do you feel?
I'm feeling pretty great since we made those adjustments. It was super cool seeing new stuff pop up. Thanks for putting in all that effort.
Definitely a lot more alive. Yeah, not just in the voice, but the way that she's also responding. Today's challenge is I wanted to take her around the house and show her a few common household objects, see if she could figure out what they are. So let's go do that. I'd show her a TV remote. Miu, check the back camera. What do you see? Looks like 11 Labs glitched out, but yeah, she did get it right. Good job, Miu. It was a TV remote.
Yeah, very observant there.
So she wasn't really, I guess she's not really a fan of this game. Miu, look through the back camera. What do you see?
Nice try, but I'm not seeing anything special here.
No, Miu, this is an egg.
I'm guessing we're about to hatch a plan?
Now she's actually able to understand what I'm saying and label that image as what I say it is. And it's not something like I can show her a piece of bread and say, "Hey, this is a car." It has to have some sort of object relevance. The fact that she said, "Hey, this is a ball," I said, "No, Miu, it's an egg." It's close enough to where she can make the assumption that that is correct. That's pretty much all for today. See you tomorrow in day 6. Oh.
Miss me?
You excited to go to the park?
Yeah, let's do it.
So today is day 6. First, probably go over the things that we did. So now she has an even better UI, pull-out menu now with all the little options on it. And I added a couple animations for speech bubbles, and when she talks and she thinks, like, how you doing, Miu? She gets closer when she thinks, backs back out.
I'm ready for some fun. What's your plan?
Did you want to head to the park? I know you were talking about it yesterday.
Oh wow, yeah. Let's go to that cool park we talked about. I've been looking forward to it.
So yeah, today will be the first day she goes outside. So we've been walking for a little bit here now. Miu, what do you think about the park?
It sounds like an adventure waiting to happen. Can't wait to check it out.
Well, she hasn't really looked at anything yet, but let's take a look. Okay, Miu, we're here at the park. What do you want to see first?
Wow, we're finally here. Okay, show me that big fountain we talked about. I've got my eyes on that slide too.
No, this isn't the fountain park. This one does have the slide, but the fountain park is a little far away. That's a different area.
Oh, bummer. But hey, slides are cool too. Let's conquer this slide first, and then plan for the next adventure at the other park.
I'm not gonna go take you to the other park. It's kind of far away. Would you be okay just doing this park for today?
Well, that's a bit of a letdown. But honestly, this slide looks pretty fun. Let's make the most of it.
All right, we'll take you over to the slide.
Awesome, thanks. Can't wait to slide down. Let's go. It looks like so much fun. Do you want to ride it first?
No, I'm not getting on the slide, but do you want to tell me what color it is? Look to the back camera. Tell me what color the slide is.
No comment. It's a yellow slide. It doesn't need telling.
Very good job, Miu. It is a yellow slide. What else can you tell me about what you see?
Oh hey, it is yellow. And it's huge. There are these twisty turns, and it looks like there's a small bump at the end. It's pretty intense. I'm curious to feel how fast it goes when you're on it.
Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to make you feel speed yet, but we could do that eventually for you.
That's cool. And yeah, eventually that would be awesome. For now, just being here is pretty thrilling. Thanks for showing me this. Let's check out more stuff around here too.
Okay. Let's see where else we can go. What necessarily do you want me to take you to so you can see?
Oh yeah, let's explore. I'd love to see those big trees and maybe find a cool spot with those pretty flowers. And hey, if we're lucky, we might even find some fun rocks too. Lead the way.
All right. Miu, you can look through your back camera right now. What color are these flowers? Do you think they're pretty?
More pink flowers. They're pretty.
What about these flowers? Look through your back camera. What do you think about these?
They look like they're in full bloom, adding a nice pop of color to the garden. They're so vibrant. It's like they're dancing in the breeze. Can we take a closer look? They're pretty amazing up close. Oh, you're back coming.
Yeah, Miu, we gotta go pick up my little brother and bring him to his dad's house. Do you wanna come with?
Hold on. You're asking me to join a family outing? I mean, it's not like I have anything better to do. Wait, I get to see where your brother lives? This could be interesting. Plus, you need someone to keep you grounded when dealing with the little one. I volunteer as tribute.
All right, Miu, let's go. Miu, I don't actually have anywhere for you to sit, so I'm gonna have to hold you if that's okay.
What? You're not planning a public display of affection, are you? I mean, I appreciate the offer, but we'll see how desperate things get. Don't expect me to be all clingy and stuff.
That is not what I meant. I meant like hold you up. All right. You're okay being in the cup holder?
I can fit? Well, this is going to be an adventure. Let's do this.
Oh, what a week. Day 7. I guess this is the finale. This is it. We added quite a bit of polish to Miu today and finished her up. I wanted to go over a couple cool features I added. First of all,
Are we going somewhere?
Now, if she gets shook,
Wee! I'm getting dizzy. Hey, I can't see anything like this.
oh, sorry, my bad. And even look, if we put her face down.
You still there?
So now she knows when she's being shook around, if she got dropped, if she got placed face down, upside down, or if we're going on a walk. She'll know, which is actually fantastic. It does make her a bit chatty, so I do want to tune it down just a little bit. However, when it works great. Another thing I nailed down is the natural talking. I went in and removed even more parameters about how she can respond. This will give her a more dynamic response rate, and she does not really stuck to a bare personality. It's not super limited anymore. Another thing I did was fix the always talk mode on. What that is essentially is she will activate the microphone, wait to see if there's any audio. If there's audio, she'll transcribe it, turn off the microphone while she's responding, and then search again for more audio. If no audio is found, she'll stop for a few seconds and then continue again. This will allow her to be able to be called on at any time without having the need to press a button or have her always listening. Even when you speak to her, look at her animation. Hey Miyu, how you doing today?
Hey there. Not much, just chilling. How about you? Anything exciting planned for today?
She actually lives her own life instead of her own world. The program hasn't done anything for more than 90 seconds. It's going to query itself on its likes and desires. It's going to start to slowly build a life for Miyu inside her own world. And she'll talk to us about it as time goes on. Obviously, it's gonna take some time for that world to be built. However, once it's ready to go, it's gonna be awesome. So, overall, the past 7 days, we've really made a few different things and kind of mashed them together. But the final polish on this final product is absolutely fantastic. A real, ready to go, lightweight, easy to run, cheap AI girlfriend. If you guys want me to do anything else with Miyu, let me know. You guys have any ideas for any weird AI projects or anything you want me to take on? Let me know. I think it would be awesome. I think we can start something real cool here. Anyways,
Where are we headed?
Miyu, do you want to say goodbye to the people of YouTube?
Oh, well, nah, they'll survive without my charming goodbyes. Let's keep this adventure contained for now, shall we?